Well, the City of Tshwane has urged people in Hammanskraal not to drink tap water for now. The Metro says 52 tankers currently provide drinkable water to informal settlements every week. The municipality has confirmed that samples have been collected for testing to determine the cause of the outbreak. Let's get you more on this story and speak to Tshwane's Health MMC, Rina Marx. A very good evening to you, MMC. Thank you for your time. You're joining us by phone. I believe you are still at the local hospital tonight. What are you able to tell us about your observations today?
Yes, I am, and thank you for having me on your show. Yes, it's been a very busy day. We've been all over the hospital to check how they handle the patients. They've opened up 2 additional wards to accommodate the patients that need to be admitted into the hospital. And the NEC is also still on site, and then the Premier will join us after 7.
Is the number of people who sadly succumbed to illness as a result of cholera in Tshwane, is it still 10?
Yes, it's 10.
How is it, though, MMC, that in 2023, up to 10 people died of something that should be as easily treatable as cholera?
Look, cholera, we had sporadic cases over the years already, and it comes there. It doesn't only happen in South Africa, but also in Africa. You get sporadic cases, but not as an outbreak like now. So we do urge people on a regular basis not to drink water that is not clean for human consumption, but we still cannot say what the source of the cholera is. We're waiting for water results. We took some water results on a regular basis. We also do a sampling on a monthly basis, and the latest result that we got back was clean. There was no cholera detected in the samples that was sent to NICD. But for currently, we have sent some samples off, and we expect the results to be out by Wednesday this coming week.
But it could be argued, MMC, was quite inevitable for Hammanskraal when you consider how long that area has had issues with lack of water or problems with water infrastructure in the past few years.
Yes, I know there has been a problem. They are addressing the problems, and water tankers are sent to the different areas to accommodate for the patient's needs at the moment.
But ultimately, it may have to do very well with a failure of government to provide proper water and water infrastructure to Hammanskraal. Could it not? We cannot rule that out.
Yes, I'm not going to comment on that because, it's not, I'm working in the health department, so NMC for Department of Health. So I will actually address the problems that as my responsibility at the moment. And yes, I know there has been a water problem in Hammanskraal, and they are busy solving the problem.
Mm-hmm. Can you vouch for the safety of the water that is in the tankers specifically, because that's where now people are being directed, as I understand it?
Yes, we can. We also really tell the people not to use water from other resources, but to use the water coming from the tankers. So they are advised on a regular basis to not use water from the taps or from rivers or dams or wherever. So that is the most important part. And yes, we have been testing the tankers as well. So I'm also just waiting for the results to come out for that.
You mentioned rivers and other sources of water. How widespread was the practice of people getting water from there before we were made aware of this outbreak? Is that something that you were aware was happening?
People still use other water resources. So remember that they also do religious, like baptizing in the riverlets. And they've been advised not to do it. So they still go to the riverlets to do the baptizing. And they also use streams and dams from different areas. So it's not something, it's for the community members, and it's also the people on the ground who has to advise the community members not to use the water from these resources unless it's being tested and the results are clear for cholera.
Of course, that advice is only effective, good and well, when people actually do have clean sources of drinking water. By that I mean a tap in every yard. And they don't.
Sorry, I missed that one.
I was saying the advice for people not to drink water, for example, where people are baptized or where even animals go to drink, is only effective when the communities you're speaking to actually have adequate supply of clean drinking water from something as basic as a tap, right?
Yes, that's correct. And they've got more than enough tankers issued to this region.
And these people then who are sick with cholera in hospital, are they from the same area? Do we know what the conditions were in the areas where they lived? Did they, for example, rely on the tankers? Did they have taps, etc.?
They are from different areas. So I can just tell you, they come from the Kanana area, Carousel View, Greenfield, Sierman, Hanskekana View, Sekampening, and also we learned lately also from Portion 9 and Stinkwater. So they are from different areas and even down to Carousel View.
Mm-hmm. And no one from Moretele, am I right? No, there's been no outbreak reported there?
No, not at the moment. Yeah, not at the moment.
Right, and I asked that.
But remember, with cholera, there's different ways of getting infected. You get direct infection and then indirect by contacting with people who's infected already. So it can spread. And with residents, they don't stay in one area. They move all over the city and even outside of the city. So this can be spread to other provinces as well. So it's not only citywide, but also other provinces. And as you know, there's an outbreak in the Free State as well as we're speaking.
MMC, Rina Marx, MMC for Health in Tshwane. Good to speak to you. I'm sure we'll be speaking more to you over the coming days. Thank you very much. Well,